Hello everyone again. So this is a video that I am making to reply to a comment that I got from the last video that I made because I do find it interesting when issues that I brought up, like the issue that I brought up about colorism in Hollywood and everyone getting the opportunity to be able to represent themselves in movies and in general. And the fact that when you bring up this topic about, dark skinned women or brown skinned women, you know, um, actually uh, being the one that are being left out of all of this conversation and literally facing, I'm going to say, discrimination from everywhere, especially the dark skin and brown skin women from the US. You get a commentary like this that actually goes and literally dig down and go back to the days of slavery and oppression and the reason why, dark skinned women are being portrayed the way they are. So before we go forward with this particular topic, I want to actually bring up the video that actually started this conversation. So I'm going to bring up that video one more time, and then I'm going to go into depth and actually talk about, give my commentary on this particular issue in general, because it is unfair. What I want to talk about, my reply to this particular, you know, commentary, I do acknowledge the fact that yes, there have been times that oppression and slavery had a part, but at this point, the fact that Black women didn't care about that. Dark skin women, brown skin women from the US didn't care about that. Instead, they cared more about uplifting and doing the work to uplift the men from their community to the extent that they are now known as desirable. So let me bring up this video one more time before we get in depth with this particular topic.
Your Black Hollywood fave is a colorist. I've lived in LA for 3 years now, and I have never experienced such a racially tense environment. Mind you, in LA, it's not racially tense towards Black people, just Black women. Black men on the West Coast have realized that they are in high demand. So to cash in on the opportunity to date and sleep with non-Black women, they distance themselves from Black women as much as they possibly can. More than that, take a look at Hollywood. Almost every single Black woman in Hollywood that you can mention is lighter skinned. Even in 2008, we had Beyonce and Rihanna. But Jasmine Sullivan didn't even get the attention that she deserved until just recently. India.Arie is still globally slept on. But Halle Bailey is our new Ariel, right? So we're winning. Wrong. Yet another light skin. People have been advocating for Coco Jones to get the attention that she deserves for years. Just happened in 2023. But she was on Disney Channel with Zendaya. I just recently met one of our generation's favorites. One of our absolute favorites. We love this girl, y'all. And she showed me to my face that she is a colorist. And honestly, I don't know why I was surprised. Your Black fave is not a part of the Black community. They became a classist the moment they became the Black exception. I say all of this to just bring awareness to the division in the Black community. The moment some of us get an opportunity, we're fine. We're okay with it because we're eating. We no longer care about the global struggle of our people. Why is that? Because the US is dedicated to pitting us against one another. They're more likely to give opportunities to Black people from overseas than they are to us here, right now. I think that it's time that we really open our eyes.
So, that was the video. And I think, this comment over here. Let me see where I can find it in the video over here. Hold on. Yeah, this comment over here. So if you actually look at the comment, he or she actually does bring awareness to the, you know, what happened in the past. But this is the thing that I want to actually talk about. Although it did happen in the past, Black women actually did work hard enough to put the men back into, they are now preferences. They are now acknowledged as one of the handsomest men. That's why they go around throwing, I'm desirable. And literally, while they're saying this, they're throwing shade on darker skinned women and telling them, oh, you're not desirable. And this is where the problem comes. The fact that Black women work together, even without sharing that, work with themselves in trying to uplift themselves as well. Instead, they focused on the men majority. They focus on the men and trying to uplift the men. And even you will see a lot of women online on Twitter actually saying, oh, these are our kings. The praise and admiration that they give to these men is, to me, a little bit weird. Yeah, probably because I'm not grown. I am not growing. I was not grown up in that particular, community. So it is very weird to me. Giving men adoration and praises without reciprocation, and thinking that if they put this man up to the standard, even though they don't meet that standard, they put them high enough that it is gonna somehow liberate them, liberate their image. So this person that actually made this comment, talking about what happened in history, telling me to go and research history, I'm like, Black women didn't care about history when they were uplifting Black men. They didn't care about history when they were uplifting the men in their community, to the extent that they are now known to be desirable. They even put it in the women's face and said, yeah, I'm desirable, you're not, nobody desires you. I'm like top tier, second in the desirable, how you call it, mantle platform, you know. And instead of the men understanding and doing the same to the women, like admiring them, trying to, uplift their image as much as the women did, many of these men didn't. Instead, what the women got back was being made fun of, comedically, and also in public. They were being, like, used as a skate many of the times, being made fun of. Talk, some of these men even talk very, very bad about these women. They will pick something from these women and just bash. It's been terrible. It's absolutely been terrible. So when I go even on Twitter and I see, African American women uplifting the men and talking about, they are the kings, they are our kings, they're the true kings, and all of this admiration and praise that they've been giving these individuals that are not giving them the same. It is it is confusing how you can keep on working on somebody else instead of working on yourself. It is. It is confusing in a way. So when this particular comment, because this video is going to be very, very short, I just want to reply to this. When you give and you get nothing, what do? You leave. Now, I'm going to give you guys a very small example. I remember when, women from SA, we're talking about Nigerian men and saying, oh, Nigerian men are so good. They buy things, they spend money on women. And why is it that Nigerian women are so self centered and selfish? That was what was going on. It became a trend. And some Nigerian men actually jumped into that particular topic and we're like, yeah, well, women are ungrateful, this and that. You know what Nigerian women did? They paid them dust. Many Nigerian women on Twitter that I saw were like, come get them. Come and get them. If you want them so bad, come get them. And as long as the women didn't even care and actually say, you can come get them, that trend died out. And I'm going to say this, I've actually not seen any from any African country, the women coming out as much as and praising the men as much as I've seen African American women praising the men in their community. You do not praise somebody without them actually reaching what they should be doing. You do not give them all that admiration and praises when at the end of the day you are not, it's not reciprocated. Many of I'm gonna say the men in the community, the fact that they are in high positions and in movies and entertainment and being seen as uh, popular right now is being built off the back of the women in the community. Is being built off the backs of the women in the community. They are the ones that have been actually working and try and putting their image, positive image, in the light, in the spotlight. They're the ones doing most of the work. And when it comes to their image, it's totally tarnished. Absolutely tarnished. So when I hear about this, oh, it was back in the day, this was, this was made, and that's why see, that excuse doesn't really fly with me because the women in that community did not use the same excuse. They did not take that excuse and say, okay, I'm not going to be, putting you in the spotlight and telling the world that you are the best, because that is what has been happening. They didn't say, oh, this was what happened, so I am not going to do that. They actually tried the best, work the hardest to actually sponge off the negative image, and for other women to come out and actually say, you know what, he's the kind of guy I want to go for. So when I see a topic like this and somebody trying to use what happened in history as an excuse of what is happening now, I'm like, the women didn't use this excuse. They actually did their most, their best to actually sponge out all of that and put you in the spotlight. You got big off their backs. And let's not forget, even if you're talking about light-skinned people, if they have problem in Hollywood, who do you think is coming out to defend them? Who do you think is coming out to actually defend them? Mostly you're gonna see is dark-skinned women out there defending them, fighting, and saying no. So this excuse absolutely makes no sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. And another thing I want to add in this particular video is many of these women have education, they have degrees and all of that, and they still get picked on. They still get picked on, and they still literally be told that they are undesirable. They still get told that they are undesirable. So, yes, at the end of the day, they're going to get on their feelings. One day they're going to just stand up and be like, you know what, I'm not going to be supporting this. It is only fair because even when these women go out and try to marry out, they still get bashed and dragged. Even when they try to get education and do better for themselves, they get the same thing. And this is another topic I want to talk about. Yeah, a lot of people were like, "Oh, it is how they built the system. They're trying to divide us and all of this." Let me say this: when other communities are not bashing and making the women look bad, of course, Hollywood is gonna go to those countries and pick the women over there to act whatever movie that they wanted to act. Because this is one thing that I've been thinking about after I made that video that I made before. I have been thinking about, you know, if they take a woman from the community, people are still going to come. Some people are going to come out and be like, what has she done for the community? And then people are going to go on to trash her. So imagine, and if you know Black Twitter, you know how terrible it is over there, especially when it comes to bashing Black women in general or in Twitter in general. You know how it is. So let's say a big movie is coming up and they want a darker skinned woman to act it. They're probably gonna go to many countries in Africa, try to pick somebody from there, or in America, not the United States, by the way. They're gonna go to Brazil, all of those, Colombia, everywhere else to pick those women. Because at the end of the day, they don't wanna have people coming out and bashing that particular actor. They don't want the the tweets to be overwhelmed by people trying to bash the person. They don't want people coming out and speaking negatively about the person that they are actually portraying in that movie. Like I said before, it is business. It is absolute business. They don't want people coming out and turning the whole movie that they are trying to make, all that effort that they put in that movie, and turn it into a bashing line. Like if you watch many of the movies that they use Black American women for, you're gonna see it's mostly hostile. It's mostly hostile. They're either gonna be strong or somebody's best friend, because that is the way the community have been portraying them. Now, although this is a reply to that comment, I'm going to say this. I do not believe in, oh, it was what happened back in the day. That's why Black women are where they are today. Black women have actually done the opposite when it comes to the men in their community. They have actually put the spotlight on them. They have actually literally came out of every woman and tell everybody, this is my king, this is the guy, this is the guys that I love, this is the guys that I prefer. They've been singing admiration and praises on many of the men from their community. They've been praising them even though they have not been getting praised. So at the end of the day, you cannot use that excuse. That excuse is not valid. Because the fact that the women put this much work for your image for you to be desirable, because I see a lot of people say, I'm desirable, I'm this and that. Those women put you there so that other women can look at you and be like, yes, I want a man like that, because the women from their community said they're desirable. And what I want to say to the women is, see, if it's not giving back, stop. Many countries in Africa, I've never seen an African woman coming out and talking about he's my king, they're my king, or in a group, literally in a group coming out, they're my kings, they're my this, they're my that. They don't do that, because you do not praise somebody for a work that he didn't do. They're gonna fan you. You're gonna be they're gonna literally get a lot from that than you. Let them do the work and let them get up there by themselves. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Thank you all for being here. Do not forget to press the like button, leave your commentary on the comment section, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day and goodbye.